The Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana has convened industry actors and policy makers for Aquaculture Ghana 2025, a pivotal national dialogue designed to position fish farming at the heart of Ghana's blue economy drive. In recent years, aquaculture in Ghana has emerged as a critical tool for economic growth, food security, and job creation. Domestic production of farmed fish rose from just over 5,500 tons in 2008 to about 133,000 tons in 2021. Fish remains the backbone of Ghana's animal protein intake, accounting for roughly 60% of total animal protein consumption. Yet, despite this progress, the sector's contribution to GDP remains modest. In 2023, the aquaculture subsector contributed only about 0.12% of Ghana's GDP. Against this backdrop, feed manufacturers, fish farmers, policy experts and researchers are deliberating on ways to exchange innovations, spotlight transformation, and tackle the infrastructure and investment bottlenecks that still inhibit Ghana's ambition to elevate aquaculture into a major blue economy pillar. But beneath this optimism, many agribusinesses say the aquaculture sector continues to face serious setbacks from inadequate infrastructure to limited investment support.
Well, aquaculture remains one of the fastest growing sectors, growing at an average of 6 to 7% every year, because Ghana as a country is a fish-loving nation. We have a per kilo consumption of about 26.5 per person per year, and so it brings the total demand of fish in Ghana to a little bit over 500,000, and we've been struggling to catch up with the demand so far, and that's why we have events like this to help to promote the industry, help key stakeholders to see what we are doing, and also bring the awareness to industry, to the food sector, so they can see the role that we play in the sector. And so and this is very essential to ensure food security and food safety, so people don't go hunting for fish in the wild anymore to eat. The fish we get from the wild can be farmed responsibly. It's a relatively young sector. In Ghana, it's less than 30 years. In other parts of the world, it's up to 500 years, you know. So we only started to learn the act of farming fish in less than 30 years, or maybe 50 years ago at best. And so we still have to go through the learning curve. The universities just started taking courses in aquaculture not long ago. So we have some batches of graduates that are coming out of universities and also coming to the farms for internship and picking up jobs. So it's still growing, but fish is a very essential part of diet for Ghanaians, and as long as that remains, this industry will keep growing and growing. And we've been behind for many reasons: infrastructure, low-scale investment, not many large-scale investments is happening in the sector. Most of the investment are small ticket sizes. The input materials like maize, like soya, is not a lot abundant here. And then the knowledge of farming fish as well is still in the early phases. We are doing a lot of trainings all over to make sure we are able to bridge this production. We will get there. In the last 10 years, we've seen about 3-4 big feed meal producers investing here. We had Ranan, we had Calgis and the others coming in, and as long as those demands, those fish producers are coming in, fish production is going to go. So yes, we are definitely going to get to that point where we will be producing to meet close to half or a little bit more than the demand of the country.
Despite these concerns, industry players are optimistic about government's plan to establish an aquaculture development fund, an initiative they believe could bring much-needed financial and technical support to the sector.
It's the right step in the right direction, because believe me, so far the industry is private sector led. And we've been doing all the dirty jobs. The government should be taking the lead, and we are so happy they have decided to do so now. Their supporting us will play a very important role to help to amplify our effort to drive the development faster than it's been so far. So yes, it's very essential that the government made such a bold step. We pray that it moves from the talk stage to the action phase very, very fast, because the demand is not waiting. The longer we take, the more people from other countries are going to produce and put in our economy and take all our jobs away. Licensing, it's very important. Regulation is very important. There is no industry that does very well without regulation. You see what the challenges the Galamsey guys are facing now because of lack of proper regulation and licensure. Aquaculture, fortunately or unfortunately, is a food issue, is an entry point into the food chain, so we can't just allow people to do what they want. We can't just allow producers to just step how they want to step. It has to be properly regulated by the appropriate agencies. Luckily, government has a lot of agencies like the Fisheries Commission, the Water Resources Commission, the Environmental Protection Agency, and so on, to help to regulate. So licensure is very, very key. Licensing the hatcheries, licensing the producers, and so on. It's what happens in every other part of the world, in Europe, in Asia, and some parts of Africa. So the point the minister made, it's a step in the right direction. It's a very good platform. We never had this until the last 3 years, a platform that will bring together producers, service providers, regulators and other agencies, even investors, to speak on one platform. It used to be one person running all over the place, but now it gives a platform where we all sit down, try to understand each other's requirements and need, how to cross the boundaries, what do the insurance people want, what the suppliers are looking for, what we the producers are looking for. It creates a very good platform for us, and we hope that it gets bigger and better from here. Flowcell is a leading fish producer. We've been around for close to a decade. Next year we will be 10 years. We produce tilapia fingerlings. We produce a table size fish. We have our production site at Bakbatademe near Sogakope. We also do about 24 million fingerlings. Then we do training. We train people in fish farming and related fields in about 16 countries. And then our biggest training partner is the American Soybean Association World Initiative of Soya in Human Health. With this, we come together to share experiences with young and upcoming farmers. We create leveraging opportunities for students from the various universities to come to the field to get practical training. We support farmers. We send some for international trainings here, and we also do a lot of exchange programs. So the sector, being young and is growing, has a lot of demand for human capital, and somebody has to produce them. So this is where the intersection of Flowcell and Wish comes in. And then more recently, we had the World Fish also joining, where we combine to train people in that number of countries I mentioned earlier. So we are training in Ghana here, in Nigeria, in Rwanda, in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Malawi, in Zambia, in DRC, in La Côte d'Ivoire, in Kenya, and so on.
Beyond funding, water quality remains a major concern for many players in the industry, who say it directly affects productivity and fish health.
The Ghanaian market is a bit of challenging, but we have explored ways to be able to survive in it. The aquaculture industry in Ghana is quite a young one and growing. Despite it being young, it's battled with a lot of challenges. We have issues of diseases, we have issues of water quality problems, but the Hills is not only specialized in producing quality feeds, but also providing technical advice to farmers so that they can expect some of these things that challenges the aquaculture environment in Ghana. So we provide technical training, capacity building and enhancement to our farmers to enhance their skills so that they can farm sustainably. So in terms of the aqua feeds, which is the fish feed, it's normally a complete feed. So the farmer doesn't have to buy any maize, the farmer doesn't have to source any raw materials or ingredients. It's a complete feed. Once you buy it, you give to your fish, it's going to grow. But when you talk about the aspect of the poultry, where we also have concentrates, then which the farmer has to get ingredients and supplement the concentrate that we provide for them. But I think in the Ghanaian market right now, when it comes to ingredients like mainly which is maize that we have, the prices are a bit okay now, because there are a lot of them. There's abundance of maize now, and farmers are happy with that. The Hughes is very grateful to our farmers and then those who are purchasing us. Our goal is to help the aquaculture industry in Ghana to grow sustainably. And so not only do we provide quality feeds, we also ensure that farmers farm the right way. Because irrespective of having a good feed, if you don't farm the right way, then you are not going to get the maximum output of it, which is in terms of profit. So here we intentionally guide the farmer a step-by-step approach through phase feeding. We are able to assist the farmer to grow the fish not only sustainably but also profitably. So the Hughes Ghana is a company. It's actually a global company, but we also have a business unit in Ghana as well. We have factories in more than 75 countries. We are into animal nutrition. Yes, we do for aquaculture, that's fish and other aquatic species. We also do for poultry, which is layers, broilers. We also do for pig feeds, rabbit feed as well. We feed is mainly the thing we do, but we also provide technical advice to farmers. So we just don't only provide feed, but we also provide technical advice to farmers to build and to enhance their capacities so that they can farm sustainably. The Hughes feed, we have the feed for the aqua feed, we have for the poultry feed, which is the layers and the broilers. So when it comes to the aquaculture feed, we have the starter feeds and we have the grower feeds. And our feed is kind of produced under strict safety rules or regulations. And then we also produce very quality feed. So you talk about the even appearance of the feed, you talk about its nutrient composition, you talk about how it is even packaged. Our feed is very unique, and it gives the best performance to the species that use it, or to the farmers that use them.
Feed remains one of the most expensive components of aquaculture production. For Altec Coppins, a leading producer of imported fish feed, the high cost of import duties continues to bite hard.
It's one of the best products in the whole of Africa and Europe, but the major challenge we do contend with is price. And once is an imported feed, custom duty, freights, exchange rate, all these kind of things affect the price, of which we are also trying to see how we can contain some of those charges. At the same time, we also need the government to also help when it comes to this custom duty or this VAT or this freight. So whatever they can do about it to make aquaculture acceptable, to make aquaculture grow in Ghana would be a very big plus to the industry. It's very, very important because first of all, this is the first time I will be attending, and the atmosphere is very, very encouraging. And I'm also a member of the aquaculture in Ghana. So, and seeing this is very encouraging. I think 2-3 months ago, there is also an exhibition which is basically done by the Aquaculture Ghana. So we also have our booths there. So I can see that there is growth and interest from the government, from chambers, from people when it comes to aquaculture in Ghana. And seeing this kind of environment is a means for us to have more database in Ghana, for us to have more distributors in Ghana, and for us to be able to know the farmers better in Ghana. So also we are also trying our own possible best also to give back to society. That prompted us to have, we are going to be hosting a seminar at Tema on Saturday. So we are going to encourage farmers, we are going to enlighten farmers, we are going to see how we can collaborate with the farmers for them to have a successful business or orientation, and also see every way that by which we can also come in with them. I really want to plead with the government to see how they are going to support the farmers, to see, because without farmers, the country is nothing. When it comes to livestock, when it comes to perishable goods, when it comes to aquaculture, farmers hold a lot in the country, and also they contribute their quota, because without food in the country is more or less as dead. So I will want the government to try as much as possible to see how they can encourage the farmers, to see how they can give them soft loans, land, and every other amenities for them to have a conducive environment to increase aquaculture, to increase agriculture, and every other aspect of agriculture, livestock, crops, aquaculture is something that the government should look into and see how they can boost the economy with it. Aquaculture is a feed producing company from Netherlands, and we have our own depot here in Ghana. We are basically into floating feed for farmers, for archers, also to grow out stage. Basically, we produce for catfish at Aquaculture. We also have a sister company, which is Guabi. We produce for tilapia. When we talk about uniqueness of Aquaculture, in the whole of Africa and even in Europe, Aquaculture is known to be the best, as unique when it comes to the additives we have in it, when it comes to the growth of the fish, when we have it from fingerlings to the grow-out stage. So the health of the fish is also a very good point to also look into, and we also have it, the same techniques also is being used in Guabi, which is for the tilapia. So when we are talking about Aquaculture, 80 to 90% of farmers in Africa cannot do without using it, because that is what you start with. So that is one about the product. Then secondly, it is so unique in the sense that the output you get from it, we hardly have sick fish, you hardly have mortality, it doesn't pollute water, and the ammonia in the water is also very, very limited. We have our research center in Netherlands, whereby a series of research is being carried out when it comes to the ammonia, the ammonium, the oxygen level, and the growth of the fish. So we compare with various kind of products in the markets, and we get to see how wonderfully well the product is doing.
Others, like AfriSet Enterprise, believes Ghana's aquaculture industry holds immense potential not just for economic growth, but for improving nutrition and food security.
The sector is growing. It's one of the fastest growing sectors in the agro industry. And I think aquaculture had come to stay, because people are moving to healthier food options. And so fish farming to produce table-sized fish is the order of the day, and the sector is promising. However, there are some few challenges with water quality monitoring, and so for us as a service provider, it will be good for farmers to be able to determine the quality of their water, so that their fish can survive, their fish can grow well, and then produce the flesh quality that is required. For Ghana, we would say we are still at the infant stages. Most small-scale farmers are not taking advantage of available technology to do mass production. So you have a farmer producing maybe 1,000 fish, maybe let's say catfish, and he's supposed to get like 1 ton. But because he's not using any technology, using aerators, using probiotics or prebiotics, using oxygen tablets when the oxygen levels are down, they are not able to produce the quantum, the biomass that is required. So at the end, he's producing, he has 1,000 fish, but he's not able to get 1 ton of fish, because that is 1,000 kg, because he's not using technology. He's not taking advantage of evolving and updating or upcoming technology that would enhance his output. So we think that small-scale farmers must adapt and accept the technology that is coming, the use of aerators, in producing their fish, the use of possible inputs that would enhance their production. Yes, the licensing would help in terms of the fish quality that we have on the market, because we have other people who are also producing fish that are not wholesome. And so the licensing will regulate the sector such that the fish that comes to our table can be traced. So there's the issue of traceability, and traceability will be enhanced if we have a licensing regime. And so I support the call from the Vice President to increase and enhance our licensing regime in the country so that we can produce healthy and safe fish for the Ghanaian populace and the entire world as required. It's a one-stop shop where all sectors and all players within the aquaculture industry comes to meet. So we come to interact, to collaborate, and to acquire additional knowledge that would enhance our production in terms of aquaculture and fish farming in Ghana. I think we need a lot of input in terms of aquaculture or fish farming. And so I would urge farmers to get the appropriate and the right fish farming input to boost their production so that we can produce more tonnage to feed the country. We are into fish farming inputs, for which most of them or some of them are being manufactured right here in Ghana. We have waders that are used in fish farming. We have aerators that provide oxygen, and then oxygen blowers that provide oxygen for commercial purposes for fish farming. We have fishing nets, various sizes, ranging from fish nets that are used for fry, for eggs, for juveniles, for the adult fish, or more or less the table size fish, and those for harvesting. We also have various inputs like oxygen tablets. We have probiotics and prebiotics that are also used in fish farming. We have tarpaulins also that are used in fish farming activities, and also have water quality monitoring equipment. So you have some water quality monitoring equipment, those that are used for testing of the water nutrients. We have those that are used for testing of the water temperature, dissolved oxygen, nitrates, nitrites, and other water quality parameters. These are the services that we provide at Agriset Enterprise. We've been in business for 14 years now. We started in Tamale as a small enterprise, and then we've now reached out with branches in Akusumbo.
As Ghana moves towards building a resilient blue economy, stakeholders say collaboration, innovation, and strong policy support will be key to unlocking the full potential of the aquaculture sector.